So there are actually two things that we should be adding to our table of contents and into our notebooks today. So we should be adding the Unit 3 Functions Overview, okay, which is page 48, and that's just your overview document. That's 4 pages. So you want to start filling that in right after where we finished. Okay, so we finished here on page 47 from our last unit. Our next one's going to go right away on this next page. Okay, and then after that, so that's going to be 2 page flips. Okay, then we're going to get to page 52, which is what the other one that we're adding, which is the coordinate plane. Okay, so the coordinate plane is page 52. So pause if you need to take time to get those glued in. The first thing we're going to start talking about here with the coordinate plane are our key terms. Okay, and hopefully as we're going through these, many of them sound familiar. However, if they do not, these are absolutely critical to know. Okay, so if there's something that you don't know or that doesn't sound like you're something you're familiar with, you need to be making sure you are staying on top of that and being caught up. So the coordinate plane is something that we graph ordered pairs in. Okay, it consists of a vertical and horizontal number line. Okay, and so when we make 2 number lines and we make one that is vertical, that's a terrible vertical line, but pretend, and we make one that is horizontal, okay, this is what we get. This is our coordinate plane, okay, where the x-axis is our horizontal number line. Okay, so this one that's going this way, horizontal is right and left, is our x-axis. Okay, our y-axis is our vertical number line. Okay, so that's our line going up and down. The origin is the point where they meet in the middle. It is that intersection point of the 2 lines. Now, these 2 number lines, right, have numbers, they're number lines, counting up and down. So the intersection is where they are both 0. So that intersection is where they are both at 0, which means right here is our origin. But what's really happening, right, is if this is 0 on my number line, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, both directions. Okay, so same thing going up and down. If this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the same thing going down. -1, -2, -3, -4. Okay, that would continue on forever. Now, the quadrants are the 4 distinct areas that this then makes. The quadrants are the 4 sections it then creates. Okay, and these quadrants are named by Roman numerals. So we have quadrant number 1 up here, and that Roman numeral looks like an I. Quadrant 2 looks like a double I. Quadrant 3 looks like a triple I. And quadrant 4 is IV. Okay, so they're going counterclockwise around. An ordered pair is then what we can plot in that coordinate plane. So every ordered pair consists of both an x and y value. Okay, so we write these in parentheses with our x value always going first and our y value always going second. Okay, which means if we're plotting this on our plane, we're always doing our X first, which is our horizontal, and our Y second, which is our vertical. Okay, this ordered pair consists of two coordinates. Okay, so each of these are individual coordinates. We have our X coordinate and our Y coordinate. But we need both of them together to make up that ordered pair. Okay, we can then use this information to plot points, specific points in the coordinate plane, but these coordinates give us specific information about where it's going on this plane. Okay, so we know whenever we're taking these coordinates, if our X value is positive and our Y value is positive, then we will be in quadrant 1. If our X value is negative and our Y value is positive, we will then be in quadrant 2. If our X value is negative and our Y value is negative, we will be in quadrant 3. And if our X value is positive and our Y value is negative, we will be in quadrant 4. Now, to tell exactly where we are in these quadrants, we need to see the actual values associated with it. So if we want to plot a point like -9, +6, okay, it's important to understand the way that positives and negatives work. So if our X value, if our X coordinate is a positive number, I need a different color here, that's not gonna work. If our X value is positive, we are going to be moving right. And if it is negative, we are going to be moving left. If our Y value is positive, we are going to be going up. And if it is negative, we are going to be going down. Okay, so when we then look at this specific point, right, which now tells us a specific location, we can then put all those pieces together. So if we want to plot the ordered pair, -9, +6, right, this is our X and this is our Y. We know that if our X coordinate is negative, it tells us that we want to move left. So this is telling us to go left 9. Okay, and after we go left 9, we are then going to look at our Y value, which is a +6. Positive tells us to go up in the Y value, so up 6. So when we go to graph this, we are always starting from the origin, from the center. That's our starting point. We are going to go left 9, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's going to be our first pair, our first point. Okay, so if we follow that again, 5, 5. This is a +5, so it's telling us to go right 5. Again, the Y value is also positive, so up 5. So we are starting from the origin, nowhere else. From the origin, we are going to go right 5, up 5. Point C, our X value is positive, which tells us to go right. So we're gonna go right 7. Our Y value is negative, which is gonna tell us to go left 2. Okay, so when we go to plot this, again, from the origin, I'm gonna go right 7. Oh, not left. So let me down 2, right? Because that's our Y value. Our Y value is up or down, so it can't be right or left. Okay, so we're going right 7, down 2. Our origin, 0, 0, right? That is telling us to go right 0, up 0, which means we are not moving. So this is actually the point of our ordered pair, or of our origin. So our origin over here is always the ordered pair, 0, 0. Point E, so it's -4. We're going to go left 4, right? Our Y value is up or down, so negative means down 8. So we're going left 4 from the origin, down 8. And then our last point, it is telling us that we want to go right 2 and then up 9. So here we're going right 2, up 9. Now we should be able to do this in both directions, which means we should also be able to look at this point and say, okay, this is right 2, up 9. So this is the ordered pair 2, 9. Now, if we want to tell what quadrant an ordered pair is, we could go through and plot each of these. So we could draw a coordinate plane and we could plot them, or we could just go by the information that we put in our quadrants over here. So if our X value is positive and our Y value is negative, right? This means we're going right and down. Positive followed by a negative, so this is going to be in quadrant 4. Zero 17. So 0, 17 says we are moving 0 right and up 17. So if we go 0 right and up 17, right, we're up here, we are actually right on that axis. So we're not in a quadrant, we are on that line. So this is our y-axis. And this is always going to be the case. If the x value equals 0, then we will be on our y-axis. We then have our ordered pair -5, -12. So that says to go left 5, down 12, or a negative followed by a negative, which is quadrant 3. Okay, 11, 0. So 11, 0 says we're going right 11, up and down 0. So we're going right 11, up and down 0. So that means we are going to stay on this axis, which means this is on our x-axis, which will always be the case. Okay, if y equals 0, then we will be on our x-axis. 0, 0, we should know is either we could say that's our origin or that's going to be on the x and y axis, right? Because we said that's where the x and y axis intersect. And finally, 6, 3, those are both positive, which means this will be in quadrant 1.